have done one segment of thermodynamics in our previous discussion. Today, we are going to discuss thermodynamics part 2 and we will start with reversible polytropic process. See, in NEET, in general, the direct thermodynamic process questions were asked, but now the trend is changing and this reversible polytropic process, this was a very important topic as far as the JEE Mains was concerned. So we expect NEET also to ask question on this. See, what is reversible polytropic process? Polytropic processes are such processes in which the mole specific heat that is kept constant. The specific heat, mole specific heat that is kept constant. First you have to know this in polytropic process. The second, in polytropic process, generally the process is quasi process. What is quasi process? The process is in quasi equilibrium. This is a very slow process. Very slow process. Let me tell you one thing. Suppose you are compressing a gas. Compression of a gas is like in mechanics, you have done collision, elastic, inelastic. If you remember, there in inelastic collision, there was a loss in kinetic energy. So compressing a gas is kind of that process only, like in elastic collision. Okay, so energy is bound to loss there. But when we do it in a quasi way, like it is being compressed, gas is being compressed, but the compression is very slow, very slow, very slow. So we assume that energy is not changing there. So the molar specific heat remains constant. C. The pressure volume relation on this is PVX is constant. Okay, and we generally take that X is not 1, so process is not isothermal, otherwise it will be isothermal, the direct process, or gamma, then the direct process adiabatic will be there. So we will say reversible polytropic process when PVX is constant and X is not equal to 1 in gamma. If it is 1 in gamma, then also the process is correct, but that will fall into the category of the direct processes. So in polytropic process, PVX equal to constant is the standard equation, and the molar specific heat C for such processes is CV plus R upon 1 minus X. You will put this value of X here and you will get the molar specific heat for the polytropic process. Moreover, you can calculate the molar specific heat of any process from here. Suppose I want to calculate the molar specific heat of the isobaric process. You know that isobaric process means the pressure is constant. If the pressure is constant, what is C? It's Cp. So when pressure is constant, it means X pressure is not changing according to volume. It means X is 0. When you will put X0, you will get C as Cv plus R. And what is Cv plus R according to Mayer's relation? Cp. So for isochoric also and for all the processes, you can calculate the molar specific heat using this formula. Let me show you a question on this. Suppose there is a pressure volume graph and the graph is like this. Also, the gas is monoatomic. The gas is monoatomic. Okay. If I will write the equation for this quadratic curve, this is parabola, the equation will be, since it is bending towards P, P's power will be 1, pressure is proportional to volume square, or can I write PV minus 2 is constant. So what is your X here? This is minus 2. Okay. Now C can be written as Cv. See, the gas is monoatomic, so Cv is Fr by 2, that is 3R by 2 plus R upon 1 minus X, and X is minus 2, that would be 3. You can add it to get the molar specific heat for this polytropic process. Okay, now see second law of thermodynamics. This law generally students do more number of questions on first law of thermodynamics, but second law of thermodynamics is also very important because your heat engine concept or refrigerator concept, these are going to based on this. See, we can state this second law of thermodynamics by two statements. The first is total heat supplied cannot be converted into work. You cannot convert 100% of heat into work. See, suppose you are supplying heat is being supplied, like this is the process, like this. Okay, this is pressure and this is volume. You are supplying heat Q1 and then heat is being rejected also Q2. Q1 supplied heat. In this you can see, since this is a cyclic process, can I say delta U is 0? Obviously you are aware of this. As delta U is 0, what is delta Q? Delta Q is delta W, isn't it? Delta Q is delta W. In above arrow, here you can see volume is increasing, cyclic. There is an expansion. So what is work? Positive. If work is positive in this, heat is equal to delta W is also positive. If it is being denoted as Q1, can I say Q1 is positive, and you know that positive heat is the supplied heat. In the same way, in this arrow you can see compression, work is negative, heat is negative as well, and Q2 being negative is the rejected heat. So heat is being supplied, heat is being rejected. It means the work is supplied heat minus rejected heat. So you can see the 100% of the supplied heat is not being converted into work. Point of discussion is now the heat engines. What are heat engines? They are devices which are used to get mechanical work by supplying heat. You will supply heat and you will get mechanical work. Let's have a look. This is the heat engine. You can see the three factors, three components of them. First is source, obviously high temperature so that it can supply heat. By taking that heat, 100% of that heat is not being converted into work. So some work is there and some heat is rejected also. So from this arrow diagram, you can write work as Q1 minus Q2, that we have already done. Work is heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay. Now if we calculate what is the efficiency, how efficient is the heat engine? What you wanted from heat engine? Work by supplying heat. So that work is always net work upon heat is the only input heat. Input heat by convention we can write positive heat. So net work divided by positive heat or input heat is the efficiency. We calculated net work as Q1 minus Q2 by Q1. So 1 minus Q2 by Q1, that is 1 minus rejected heat upon supplied heat is the efficiency of the heat engine. We will see a numerical on this basis. Suppose there is a 4-step cyclic process. So cyclic process is there. Generally they are for heat engines. Cyclic process Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. 4 steps. All steps heat is given in the question. All positive heats are the supplied. All negative heats obviously are the rejected. Similarly, for process 1, 2 and 3, work done is also known to us. Question is asking us the W4. W4. In cyclic process, we have done earlier, delta U, change in internal energy, is 0. So if delta U is 0, so first law of thermodynamics will be delta Q is delta W. So what is delta Q? Q and 3Q is 4Q, minus 2Q is 2Q, 2Q minus Q by 2 is 3Q by 2. So our delta Q is 3Q by 2 is equal to delta W, W, 2W, 3W, 3W plus W by 2. What is this? 3.5W. That is 7W by 2 plus W4. From here W4 can be calculated. Okay, also the question is asking you for the efficiency, how efficient is the cycle. How to calculate this? Again, we have the formula, work net upon the positive heat. What is the net work done? Net work done equal to the net heat, that is the 3Q by 2. Okay, and what is the positive heat? Q and 3Q are the positive heats, so the sum is 4Q. So net work done upon 4Q is the efficiency. 3 by 8 percentage efficiency can be calculated by 3 by 8 into 100. This is the percentage efficiency. See, Carnot's engine. Carnot's engine. We all know that efficiency cannot be 100%. So can it be 50%? Can it be 90%? Can it be 85? Like it's not 100, then what is the maximum percentage of efficiency? That depends upon the temperature of source and temperature of sink relation, and that was Carnot. That theorem, the Carnot's theorem, was based on Carnot's cycle. Let's have a look at the cycle. Cyclic process for Carnot's engine. This is volume indicator diagram. You can see this cyclic process. AB is isothermal. From arrow you can see it is expansion. BC is adiabatic expansion. CD is isothermal compression, and DA is adiabatic compression. Okay. In this Carnot, one thing I would suggest you to remember, that product of the alternate volumes, they are constant, like VA into VC is equal to VB into VD. This is also an important result. You can derive this by writing all the thermodynamic equations, but I would suggest you to memorize this. And efficiency, that is 1 minus Q2 by Q1, this is efficiency for all the heat engines. In this Carnot cycle, two processes you can see are adiabatic. As they are adiabatic, there is no heat exchange. So obviously heat exchange in isothermal, either in expansion or in compression. In AB, expansion is there. So obviously heat is positive. So we can write supplied heat of AB. So Q1 is heat of AB, and that will equal to the work of AB. Similarly, rejected heat or negative work is there, work of CD. Okay. If you will put these two isothermal works, rejected for CD and supplied for AB, you will get the efficiency as 1 minus T2 by T1. This is called Carnot's theorem, Carnot cycle's efficiency. Carnot's engine or Carnot theorem, this is a very important topic for NEET. You have to do more number of questions on this. Be very clear about what is temperature of sink, what is temperature of source, and how to relate this, the alternate volume product constant and the final efficiency. Do memorize this formulae. Now we will use that heat engine concept as a refrigerator and heat pump. See, in refrigerator, external work is being done on the working substance. The substance is not performing work, external work is being done on this. You can see the arrow. External agent is doing the work, and sink is at higher temperature. Like the water bottle that you place inside your refrigerator is the sink, that is at higher temperature, and heat is being withdrawn from it. So that's why it becomes colder. Also, heat is being rejected to the source. You have heard that when you will keep the door of your refrigerator open, the room's temperature will increase. This rejected heat is the reason for that. Okay. Again, from the arrow diagram, you can see W plus Q2 is Q1 and W is Q1 minus Q2. Okay. It is the same formula that we have used in heat engine, but there is a change. See, this Q1 minus Q2, you can see Q1 is the lesser heat, Q2 is the greater heat. This is negative. Obviously work is being done on the system. So that work in heat engine was positive. This is the negative work on the system work. Okay. Now for heat engine, we define coefficient of performance. Okay, K, and that is heat supplied upon work done, or Q2 upon Q1 minus Q2. This is the coefficient of performance. If we will relate this coefficient to the efficiency, we can write K is equal to, see the arrangement, divide by Q1 upon 1 minus Q2 by Q1. So efficiency was 1 minus Q2. This is the efficiency. So this can be written as 1 minus efficiency upon efficiency. So if you are aware, you know the efficiency, you can calculate the coefficient of performance also. Look on this question. It was asked in NEET 2 times, 15 and 17. There is a Carnot's engine. Efficiency is given as 1 by 10 and is used as a refrigerator. So first find the coefficient of performance, K. This is 1 minus eta upon eta, that is 1 minus 1 by 10 upon 1 by 10, and that is 9. So coefficient of performance is 9. Again, work done on the system is given as 10 joule. So energy absorbed from the reservoir at lower temperature. See, lower temperature energy is required here. So you can write coefficient of performance as Q by W. What is K? 9. What is W? 10. So you can calculate the heat supplied as 9 into 10, 90. One thing here that I want to clear you students is this line, reservoir at lower temperature. In refrigerator, the sink is at higher temperature, but the name of sink is the reservoir at lower temperature. Don't get confused with this. Sink is in general in heat engine, it has lower temperature, so there we name it as the reservoir at lower temperature. While using as a refrigerator, temperature of sink is greater, but its name is still the reservoir at lower temperature. That's why we are calculating that heat that was being supplied by the sink, Q. That's why the coefficient of performance, if you remember, was Q2 by W, and we have calculated Q2. Don't calculate Q1 in this case. See a question on same Carnot's engine or refrigerator, you can say, from NEET 2016. Coefficient of performance is 5 for a refrigerator. Inside temperature, that temperature inside of the freezer is given as minus 20 degrees Celsius. Find temperature of surroundings. Okay. See, we know that coefficient of performance is 1 minus eta upon eta. And also, what is eta? Eta is 1 minus T2 by T1. When you will put this value of eta here, coefficient of performance is T2 upon T1 minus T2. This you can memorize coefficient of performance in terms of temperature. Now T2, T1 and T2, these two temperatures are in Kelvin, absolute temperatures. So what is K given? K is given as 5. Write T2, 273 minus 20 upon T1 minus T2 is again 273 minus 20, and from here you can calculate T1. When the final answer will come, you have to see that temperature finally you will get in terms of Kelvin. If options are given in degrees Celsius, you have to do the necessary changes. Okay. Now, one similar question was there in NEET 2007, or basically at that time it was AIPMT. An engine has an efficiency of 1 by 6. Okay. So 1 by 6 is 1 minus T2 by T1, that we can write here. Now what happens? Temperature of sink is reduced by 62 degrees Celsius, and then efficiency becomes twice of the initial. So twice of this is 1 by 3. Okay, and now the temperature has been reduced 1 minus T2 minus 62 upon T1. Here one thing is interesting to see. Temperature that we have discussed is in Kelvin, but temperature is given in terms of degrees Celsius. But as you know that in Celsius and Kelvin, the change in temperature will remain same. So we will directly write T2 minus 62. Now from this data and this data, like this is 1 by 3. What is this 1 by 3? This is twice of this. So can you write this like twice of 1 minus T2 by T1? Or simply, if I will write this as an equation 1 and this as equation 2, obviously temperature of source can be solved. If we will use heat engine as pump, we have already used it as a refrigerator. Now we are using it as a pump. In case of pump, the same arrangement we will use that we have used for refrigerator, but the coefficient of performance in this case is Q1 by W. Q1 by W, you can see this. In the refrigerator, it was Q2 by W. When you will write the expression for W, Q1 minus Q2, and rearrange this, divide by Q1, 1 upon 1 minus Q2 by Q1. And 1 minus Q2 by Q1 is the efficiency of that engine. So we can directly write 1 by efficiency. So higher is the efficiency, lesser is the coefficient of performance for the heat pump.